So I'm having a chat with Matt Cardle. How are you?
I'm great, Jim. How are you, mate?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Thanks very much. First things first, you have a new single out called We're the Butterflies. What can you tell us about the single?
So basically, Jim, the song is about an experience that I had in 2014. It's about the time I spent in rehab, specifically about a girl that I met in there while I was there. And, you know, it's about being honest. It's about being truthful. And I swear down, Jim, I heard more honesty in the 4 weeks that I was in there than I've heard in my entire life. You know, when people are in that situation at that stage of their life, no matter how old they are, you just hear the most brutal, honest, raw truths from them, and it's powerful. And I kind of wanted to make the song, you know, sound as uplifting as some of those sessions were. Although if I'd written it back at the time, it would have been very dark, and I don't think anyone would have wanted to hear it. But, you know, with hindsight and 2020 vision on it, it's you know, it's possible to put it into a way that I want to, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's off a new EP of yours called Purple Crayon, and the title track is also along similar lines to your addiction struggles.
Yes, absolutely. It goes. The whole EP, or the whole new album, is kind of spanning, you know, a few years of my life, post, during, and pre that situation. You know, I've written a lot in the past about relationships and, you know, love and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of the music out there was about that. So I was kind of mildly thankful. No, actually, not mild. I was very thankful for the darkness, really, weirdly, that I could turn into the new album, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've been releasing music over the past 10 years since your stint on X Factor, and obviously you were in bands and doing things before that. How have you developed as a musician and an artist since the starting of writing through until today? Well,
you know what, Jim? It's, you know, to start with, it was very much me on my own with an acoustic when I started writing out in bands and stuff. And then you get in the room with the band and it becomes, you know, it's all about rock and roll. After X Factor, when I started co-writing for the first time, it was amazing, because two heads are better than one, and three heads are. Four heads is too many people in the room. But, you know, it's great to co-write, and I've been working a lot on my production over the last sort of 10 years, and that's how I've come to be in a position to be able to produce this EP as well. And it's nice to have, you know, absolute control over everything. It does your head in a little bit, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to be fully at the wheel.
Yeah, I can well imagine. And we're currently in the middle of a pandemic at the moment, and we've all been quarantining for the past year. How has that affected you, your music, and this new release?
Only positively, Jim. You know, I've spent a lot of time at home. I've got a studio at home that, you know, a lot of the time I'm walking through it and past it, and, you know, it's kind of calling out to me to be used, but you're not always inspired, and you can't just sit there and you know, magic it up out of thin air. You have to wait for the inspiration. And what's been weirdly handy about lockdown is the fact that when those moments of inspiration do come, I'm at the studio, so it all goes down, and that's where the CP has come from, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, once this release is out, I'm sure you'll be wanting to be back out on the road as soon as possible, really.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've got a tour provisionally booked in, and it just, you know, we're waiting on a couple more things, guidelines to be sorted out and that kind of stuff, and then we can definitely get back on the road with it. I cannot wait.
Yeah, most definitely. And obviously, speaking of writing and everything, have you got more music in the pipelines, kind of ready to be working on for future albums and EP releases?
Well, I've got the rest of the EP is being mixed at the moment. The last two tracks in the EP, we're well underway with the next album, which will be my fifth now. And yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm always writing. Sometimes tracks don't make the album, sometimes they do. Sometimes tracks that you never thought would make the album come out of, you know, the blue sky, and they end up being on there. So there's lots of material, but we're well under the way with the new album.
Good, excellent. And also over the last few years, starting kind of around 2015, you took a delve into musical theatre. How's that been for you?
Yeah, it was something that was very, very unexpected, Jim. I got a call from Beverly Knight one day saying that they were looking for a guy to come and play the lead role in the show that she was in, or co-lead alongside her. And, you know, it was a night out at the theatre for me initially, which then turned into being in Memphis, the show, and absolutely loving it, and then going on to do Strictly Ballroom, and just recently played Pilot in Jesus Christ Superstar. It's been an absolute dream to be able to enter into the West End, and it's something that I'm really passionate about now.
Yeah, so is that something you think that you might be delving back into once the theatres reopen?
Yeah, if the right show comes along and the right roles are out there, then I'll definitely do it. And obviously, if it coincides timing wise with the album and all that kind of stuff, then I absolutely will be doing that.
Amazing, fantastic. Well, Matt, it's been great having a catch up with you.
You too, Jim. Thank you so much for speaking to me today. Honestly, thank you.
No worries.